Well, you don't want to go 0-2, but really the big thing is, and I wrote that the Clemson game was a scrimmage, and you see tonight that it was. This game vastly more important than the Clemson game, because now Georgia controls its own destiny. People aren't going to like what I say next. I mean, they can lose to LSU and be fine. So, what I'm talking about is winning the conference championship, which seems to take care of everything else. Now they can lose to LSU and be all right. You got to put everything in perspective at this second right now. Georgia controls their own destiny in the East. Today was a good day for Georgia. I mean, the Gators looked not great, losing to Miami like that down there. But this team does at times. They've got to maintain focus. Colin Barber's had a very good season. That drop, boy, that almost cost them some serious damage. Let's talk about Aaron Murray for a second. I mean, God, he won them the game. Him and Todd won him the game. I mean, Todd, 30 carries for 132 yards. That's some damage. Brendan Douglas comes in and finishes the Cox off at the end. But 17 for 23, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns with an 85-yard touchdown. Aaron Murray, I don't know if you watch this stuff. I suspect someone, lets you see some of these things. That was a great performance. That was mental toughness, period. That was moving in the pocket and out of the pocket with your head up, ball ready to go. Justin Scott Wesley, that was because you moved around in the pocket. Throw to Todd Gurley was straight up mental toughness. You got these guys running after you, and you concentrate. That's the only way Georgia's going to win championships, is if Aaron plays at least in that vicinity, because he can. I mean, we see tonight. Besides Florida, this is probably the best defense Georgia's going to see this season. LSU, will be up there as well. But, man, I mean, it's like they can't keep from scoring. 41 points is a lot of points. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of points. And another 536 yards. Talk about the defense a little bit. Got a little bit better today. 30 points, too much. But I really just call it 24 because, that snap, or it wasn't a snap. It was just Colin Barber he just goofed it up. So, it happens. He made a great onside kick. That stole 3 points for Georgia. And then, it's a team game. He just messed it up. It happens. But they definitely could have, I don't know how else to say. They could have crapped themselves in the second quarter, but they didn't. They stayed tough. And even though Carolina scored there at the end, I thought Georgia played pretty well. And the thing about it is with defense, you just got to get off the field when you got to get off the field. They had to get off the field on that goal line stand, and they did. And that won them the game too. I mean, there was a lot to go around. Marlowe with 12 tackles, Sterling Bailey with 10. Both of them had at least a little bit of a sack. It was just, it was one of those Georgia-South Carolina games where both teams played pretty well. But tonight was about Georgia. I hate saying this sort of things. Tonight was about Georgia either wanting it more or having the ability to enforce their will more. That was probably more what it was than anything else. I mean, you look at the Cox, too. I mean, geez. Mike Davis had a pretty good night. 9 yards a carry. Of course, one of those was from that long run. Connor Shaw. Georgia will be glad to see Connor Shaw gone. They'll be glad to see Jadeveon Clowney gone. Let me check with Clowney. He was visible. He was there at times. I didn't get to see the television stuff. Jadeveon Clowney. 3 tackles with a sack. If you're Georgia, you say, hey, we'll take that all day long. No crazy turnovers. Georgia's in control right now. And, Georgia's in control. And, I mean, Kentucky doesn't look that great. Vandy could be a tricky one. Tennessee is tough to play up there. Gators obviously are going to be the one. I mean, South Carolina just got to hope that Georgia loses twice, which can happen. This team, this program now has won a lot of games at home, so it might have to be on the road, particularly if it's not LSU. And what Georgia's got to do is continue to concentrate in big moments. Garrison Smith, a little bit silly foul there after that goal line stand, but Garrison was there the whole game. He was very active. I don't know how many tackles he had. He had 4 tackles and a sack. So from a defensive lineman perspective, that's sort of like Clowney's night. It was fine. But Marlo Herrera is really the guy, and Sterling Bailey Amarlo and Ramik have really played well at the linebacker spot. You know, look, dude, if you're a Georgia guy, this is a good night. Georgia takes advantage of being out in front for once, and they need that. They need to take a break. These first 2 weeks have been exhausting. Now they get North Texas, kind of maybe get Keith and Todd in there for about 10 carries. That's it. Let it be the Brendan Douglas show, and then get ready for Zach and the Tigers coming to town at LSU. But tonight, biggest thing tonight, Georgia wins 41-30. And it's a big night for Georgia. So signing off for Dog Post, this is Dean Legge.